Science refutes God, so clearly you should vote for our side. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence Krauss. And that is our motion, Science Refutes God. You have debated this issue a number of times. You've been on stages arguing against atheists a lot. And a lot of times they say that science refutes God, but you came out with a book called God Forsaken. And in a way you turn this argument on its head. How?
Well, I think science can be a tool to help us understand God. And so far from science refuting God, I see science as a wonderful instrument for helping us learn about the world and thus learning about its creator.
And your partner is?
My partner is Ian Hutchinson.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Hutchinson. Ian Hutchinson, you are a professor of nuclear science and engineering at MIT. Your contributions to science include, and I take this from your biography online at MIT, they include the first observations of polarized tokamak electron cyclotron radiation and development of diagnostics and thermal and non-thermal electronic distributions based on it. So you're that guy? What are you doing here?
Well, I guess that is the question, isn't it? But more seriously, I'm a scientist and I'm also a Christian. I think both are very important parts of the way that we understand the world, and I think that's why this debate is so important.
Professor of nuclear science and engineering at MIT and the author of Monopolizing Knowledge, a scientist refutes religion-denying, reason-destroying scientism.
Thank you for the opportunity to be with you tonight and to explain why science does not refute God. Let's agree that this motion is not about whether, for example, the latest sociological theories disprove the gods and goddesses of ancient Greek mythology. No, it's about whether modern natural science, exemplified by things like physics, chemistry, biology, geology, and so on, rule out thoughtful theism. The God I'm going to discuss is the God of Christianity, because I'm a follower of Jesus. But my side's job is not to convince you of the truth of Christianity, although I think it is true. Our job is just to show that Christianity's God is not refuted by science.
And here's where we are. We are about to hear brief closing statements from each debater in turn. Those statements will be 2 minutes each. And remember, the audience, you voted before the debate, and this is their last chance to change your mind before you vote a second time to pick the winner. On to round 3, closing statements. Our motion is Science Refutes God. And here to summarize his position against this motion, Ian Hutchinson, professor of nuclear science and engineering at MIT.
Although it is incompetent to refute God or religion, science is very important. It's our way of finding out about the regularities of the universe and this amazing natural world in which we live. And I think both sides can agree that we deplore the widespread ignorance of science, and we want Americans of all persuasions to understand science better. And if you share that viewpoint, then here's why you should vote against this motion. Claiming more for science than is warranted by its competence does not promote science, it damages it. Talking as if science is all the real knowledge there is, as this scientistic motion does, alienates from science people who know better than to accept such an unjustified metaphysical extrapolation. It alienates intellectuals, particularly from other non-scientific disciplines, and so gives rise to the culture wars that have roiled the academy for the last few decades. And it alienates non-intellectuals whose opinions are more intuitive and practical, but who know that their life is more than some reductionistic description in terms of atoms and molecules. People who make aggressive, anti-theistic claims on behalf of science are not acting as science's champions. They are bringing it into disrepute. They are confusing science with scientism. perhaps for their own polemic purposes. And they are, in the end, misrepresenting science to the public. And therefore, I urge you, whatever may be your religious beliefs, to vote against this erroneous motion.
Thank you, Ian Hutchinson. Our motion is Science Refutes God, and here to... So, to everybody who enjoyed themselves, we want you to know that we do this every month, and it's always this good, although we do all different kinds of topics, but we get very, very smart people up here on the stage to do this, to engage, really to pay each other the respect of listening to each other's arguments, if only to demolish them. But they do it, they listen, and that's a rare thing, and it lets you have the opportunity of really hearing two sides well articulated across the nation. Okay, the results are coming in now. Okay, I just needed to digest. And I want to put my glasses on for this. Okay, so it's all in. I have been given the results. Remember, the team that changes the most minds is declared the victor, and here it is. Before the debate, 37% agreed with the motion, 34% were against, and 29% were undecided. So those are the first results. Remember, the team that has the highest percentage change is declared the winner. The vote, 34%. The second vote, 38%. That's up 4%. It's not enough. The team arguing for the motion, Science Refutes God, has won the debate. Our congratulations to them. Thank you from me, John Donvan, and Intelligence Squared US. We'll see you next time.